There are times that a room feels like it's begging for change, like a person asking permission to become who they've always dreamed of being. It's exciting because the request feels natural. Logan contacted us to design his study. He described what he wanted as dark academia. Depending on what you've seen, you might picture two very different versions of that style. The interesting part, both are right. So, how do we choose? Logan described what led him to this style, a bit about himself, then the direction became clear. His goal was a functional space, somewhere to work, study, think, read, and write. You'll learn he has a scholar's mind, and this room would serve as a hub for the interests that make him tick. When you view a project this way, you realize the importance of a careful approach. Today, I'm showing you the transformation of a study that already knew its evolution. All it needed was a helping hand. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be a subscriber. Remember, if you'd like our help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description below. Logan's background is in astrophysics, an area of study that takes the mind to its imaginative limits, where physical laws believed definitive begin to shift and alter, where the depth of what's possible and how little we know is staggering. And yet somehow the universe finds order and harmony, hosting millions of humanly inexplicable acts. A room surrounding a mind navigating concepts, theories, and law modification. You must be prudent. Let's look at what we did. This office captivates when stepped into. I was extremely happy with the way that it turned out. When the message of a space is clear, you hit a home run in design. This is unmistakably a chamber built for thought. Its first impression can leave someone with nothing to say but wow. But it's not until you spend time in the space that you notice the lining of imagination. So how would we describe this room's identity if we built it from the ground up? What pieces would we need? As I mentioned earlier, depending on your understanding of dark academia, you may or may not have seen this coming. There's a version of dark academia that includes botanicals, dark art, and decor that feels aged, even haunting. It can represent a creative yet scattered mind, like being lost in a dark novel. But there's also the literal version, dark academia, a dark palette approach to a scholarly environment. That's the version that we went with. Something more representative of a historian, a philosopher, a person of order. The result is a combination of styles, very common in the way that we design. The foundation is a traditional English study. Decorative crown molding, built-in bookcases, an executive walnut desk. Then, two distinct influences. Romantic dark academia through the moody palette, intellectual art and symbolism, and the gentleman's club style, displayed in leather wingbacks, wood, and brass. There are layers of intention behind the creation of this study, so let's start from the top. Literally. The mural on the ceiling is a wallpaper image of a night sky filled with stars and constellations. When we use subjects like this, we're careful to avoid anything that might feel childish. It must have maturity, realism, and a serious tone. Have you ever found an image online that was perfect, but you couldn't find a framed version of it anywhere? It's frustrating. You settle for something less or skip it altogether. Either way, you're left in disappointment. This wallpaper began as a downloaded file, brought to life by a custom online printer. Services like Spoonflower or Limitless Walls can help you scale any image into a wall-sized mural. A constellation print is obviously connected to astrophysics, but it wasn't chosen only for that, and it wasn't put on the ceiling just because it's the sky. The intention was a poetic gesture, a suggestion that thought doesn't remain at ground level. It expands upward toward the infinite. Another key theme was order, and that was shown through the symmetry in the room. The flanking bookcases were already there, that set the stage. The pair of wingbacks matched the width and weight of the executive desk. The art on the walls uses repeating, mirrored placements. The display table in front of the window creates a central focus within a central focus. This room's color palette features layered tonality instead of sharp contrast. Deep browns, blue undertones, woods, and brushed brass, they create a digestible presence. All of these are carried down to the floor in the rug, but there's something very special about this rug. Why this design? Why this pattern? Because it reminded us of an old celestial map, perfectly fit for this room and a natural conversation piece. Anyone who casually compliments the rug would learn how intentional its inclusion was. To reinforce the connection, the famed celestial map by Andreas Cellarius was put on the wall. The authentic title is Latin, but it translates to the position of the earth surrounded by celestial circles. You probably see the classic references included. There's a bust sculpture, an antique globe, and cartographic prints. All speak to history, intellect, and the weight of tradition. If you're unfamiliar, cartography is the discipline of map design, not just in utility, but creative art. These maps blend science, design, and symbolism. At a distance, it's easy to mistake them for simple vintage maps, but up close, you see the elaborate fonts, the shading, and allegorical figures, fitting for a room that uses allegory. As for the bust sculpture, it only made sense to include Galileo Galilei, the father of modern astronomy. His observational work is the reason images once unfathomable even exist. One challenge with showing design online is obscure color and texture. People's phones, computer screens, and TV screens, they all display differently. Our monitors are made to be 100% color accurate because it's our profession, but you might be seeing something different. Why am I telling you this? So we can talk about the paint color. What you're looking at is a blue-black, and in the right light, feels like the sky at its quietest hour. It's made by Benjamin Moore and rightfully titled Midnight. It carries the weight of black, but with more character. The blue undertones read as night air rather than void. Its importance is it makes the room feel intelligent without crossing into gloom. A subtle progression of wood and leather tones is worked into the design as well. Like a moving scale, the browns shift through different levels of darkness. Without that, complexity and depth would be lost. This study is continuity across time, referencing different centuries in one space. The bust of Galileo linking to the 17th century, cartographic prints recalling the 18th century, leather wingbacks carrying us into the 19th century, and celestial metaphors stretching beyond what we understand as time. The ideal surrounding for an intellectual, an answer to a room begging for more. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you on the next one.